took place concerning my nephew Oscar Grant that was killed on the Fruitvale Park platform on January 1st, 2009. And the protest was continuous. We had also the rebellion that took place. So the idea of smelling smoke continued to linger during all these protests, which was significant. But also what I thought was really critical and most important was when I actually came here to the ILWU and I shared with them what happened to Oscar Grant. And the union took a vote and they began to support the family and they began to organize. And next thing I know, I was going to the Alameda Labor Council and then the Oakland Labor Council, I believe it's called, San Francisco Labor Council, Alameda County Labor Council. And with the union, ILWU, the support of Jack himself and the membership, as well as Clarence, organization began to take place. And as we know, on 10/23/2010, the ILWU stepped out and shut down the ports here, which was really significant in making this day, the day that it is for us today, a very, very meaningful day. And I say that because of that day, this officer here, Johannes Medsley, who murdered Oscar Grant on January 1st, was found guilty. He was found guilty. He was found guilty on July 8th. As we know, today is July 8th. In 2011. And I say what's real significant about that is because I came here asking for your support. You hear what I'm saying? And the union embraced us and did what Jack and Clarence I hear say all the time, exhibited the power that lies within the union. And the union stepped to the plate, shut down the ports. It had a significant aspect in the decision of this officer here being incarcerated. He would have been longer, but I'm here to say to Petey, we met Linda Hay. We sat with her in a meeting. And this system is broken. We have to be clear and understand that if by chance, in some places, a grand jury decided to indict an officer, they still have to get past the district attorney. But if by chance we can get past the district attorney, like in ourselves, where the district attorney represented us in a weak fashion, but we were able to still secure an involuntary manslaughter charge and a gun enhancement charge, we still got to get past the jury. But if by chance we can get past the jury, like I said, in our case, the jury did rule in our favor, which we were extremely grateful for. We didn't like the involuntary manslaughter, but what I'm getting at is that if by chance you get past the jury, you got to get past the judge. All across this country, cases are being thrown out because the judge claims that the district attorney erred in some motion. In our particular case, the district attorney told us on day one, and I want you to hear this and how important it is that families are embraced by unions across this country. But on day one, the judge told us that if we don't make all of you go away, he'll make the case last 5, 7, or 10 years until you all go away. A straight attack on our First Amendment right to speak to the very injustice. In the middle of the trial, District Defense Attorney Michael Raines took the silhouette, similar to this, showing the actual body of Oscar where the bullet went through his back, letting everybody see, inflicting pain, and tossed it on the table and said, let's name this KKK. And the judge accepted it. No rhyme or reason, no chronological order, no alphabetical order, but named KKK. And on the very last day, Judge Robert Perry told us that he felt that this was not about black and white. It couldn't be about black and white. We just gave you a black president. This is what the judicial figure said, that we just gave you a black president. And what I'm telling you is just factual in the system of this criminal justice system. But he was so troubled by you coming back with a guilty verdict that he said he erred. Now, Muslim claimed he erred with his taser, but now we have the judge saying he erred in his instructions to you on how to render a verdict. And he said he was so troubled with that he could not let the gun enhancement charge stand. The significance of that is this. The gun enhancement charge was an automatic 10 years. The involuntary manslaughter on the low side was a 2 year. So we knew at the minimum we had 12 years for this officer to do. But because the judge claimed he erred, he took it and he said he got to toss it out. He tossed out your verdict. Now he's only sitting on a 2-year sentence to prison. But he said, oh, I'm not done yet. I'm going to give him 2 days served for every day in jail, reduce this time down to 11 months. But he said he's not done there. I'm going to put him on non-revocable parole. I just want you to see the system and what the judge did. Non-revocable parole means that I'm a felon, I killed someone, but the judge likes me. He puts me on non-revocable parole. Upon my exit out of prison or jail, if I don't have no contact with the police for 1 year, my felony falls off record, I can get my gun back and I can reapply at the agency that I quit or was terminated from. And as you know, many of you, if you was in the movement, you can remember when Johannes Wesley sought to get his job back. And we protested, and you came out. And the community came out and spoke to that. And Bart remembered that smell of smoke. They remembered the sound of the protest. And they remembered what the ILWU did. And they decided not to hire him. So he's down south somewhere working. But my point is this. What happened here in this union was so significant that we had countries, China, railroad system, sent a letter here in solidarity with the ILWU here. The French consulate, if I'm saying it right,
Japan.
Okay, I'm sorry, not China, but Japan. But the French consulate also, the union workers had sent a letter. I forget who was it, I forget their name. What I'm getting at is that what happens here goes the world. And so we as a family are so grateful to Clarence, Jack, Stacy, and of course, yes, Howard, for supporting the families, standing with the community, and wielding your power to show this world that there has to be real freedom and justice. Otherwise, there would be what you call an economic shutdown through the labor. I believe the only way that families will ever truly get justice, what happened with the ILWU and the community here has to be reduplicated across this country. And when we see unions connecting with one another, supporting the community and speaking to this injustice and these heinous acts that we see, only then will we see real change. And I'm going to say this and be quiet. Right now in Cleveland, they're having the Black Lives Matter conference. And there have been several panels submitted that center around how to get labor involved. To me, the movement is beginning to progress in the direction that it should go, that I believe that will bring a real change within this system when labor align with community and community align with labor to bring about that change. You know, I want to say thank you to my sister here who worked for Bart. Yuri, that's right. Yuri, you know, we again as a family thank you for supporting us and standing with us. I mean, we're talking about a Bart employee that put her, what I believe, job on the line to speak to the very injustice in supporting a family that had lost a loved one to the very agency she worked for. To me, that is power. So I've said a whole lot, and I'm going to see if I can quote this quote, and then I'll be quiet. It's Martin Luther King who said this quote that I really feel that is significant at this time. Cowards show up this, I'm going to paraphrase since I can't get it exact. Cowards only act when it's safe. I forget the quote. It's a powerful quote, so I'm going to let it go. I don't want to mess it up.
Don't be no coward.
But, again, as a family, we want to thank all of you. Thank you for allowing us to be here and share a few words, Stacy, and especially what happened on May Day and connecting with Charleston. I don't know if he's going to speak tonight, but I would love to hear the brother speak on the union. Oh, he already did. We were stuck in traffic. But again, our love, Oscar Grant family, to all of you here at the ILWU and all those that from the community that has come here. We really say thank you because we know without you, nobody would know who Oscar Grant is or who I am today. Thank you.